All right, I'd like to bring the Town of Wappinger Zoning Board of Appeals meeting to order. Can I have a roll call, please, Judy?
Mr. Delacorte, absent. Mr. Lorenzini.
Here.
Mr. Barr.
Here.
Mr. DiNardo.
Here.
Mr. Galati.
Here. We stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Next order of business would be acceptance of the minutes from May 14th, 2024. Everybody had a chance to see those?
Yes.
I got them tonight, actually. You're good? Yep. Any changes, comments? All right. Could I have a motion then, please, to accept the minutes as written?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so moved. Next order of business tonight, public hearing, appeal number 24782, area variance. Mr. Naweed seeking an area variance, section 24037 of district regulations in an R40.
I'm not sure that he's here.
They're not here.
Yeah, I don't see them
Jump
yet.
to the next one?
Oh,
Well,
Give it
yeah,
again.
why don't we go to the next one?
okay. All right. Next order of business. Well, we'll come back to that. All right. Okay. Next order of business. Appeal number 247823, area variance. William and Lauren Zerillo seeking an area variance, section 24037 of district regulations in an R20 zoning district where no accessory structure can be larger than 600 square feet in size on less than 1 acre. The applicant is proposing a 26 by 30 garage with electric, 780 square feet, thus requesting a variance of 180 square feet. The property is located at 17 Beechwood Circle on .91 acres and is identified as tax grid number 615704667422 in the town of Wappinger. Could I have a motion to open public hearing?
Motion open public
Can I have a
hearing.
second? All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Okay. Well, there's no podium to step up to, but, oh, there is. Oh, could you please, yes, just step up to the kind of mic, and for the general public and anybody listening in, what you need and why you need it.
Name
William
and
Zarello,
address.
17 Beechwood Circle.
Excuse me, your name and address, too. Your name and address.
My name and address? William Zarello, 17 Beechwood Circle, Wappinger Falls, New York.
You're on.
Okay. What would you like? I'm sorry.
Just a brief description of what you need and why you need it.
Building a garage for hobbies, workshop. I bought an old car that I want to restore, and I'm buying an old boat that I want to be able to put in there as well. And boat, you know, when it's wooden boat, so it's going to be real dusty, so I want to be able to move it in and out. So if I keep it on the trailer, i.e. it can't get stolen, and it'll be locked up inside the shop.
Gotcha. Now, I know that the guys were out there on Saturday. I apologize again for sneaking up on you.
It's quite all right.
I can see what you got going on there. You did also send us a layout of what you intend on putting in the garage, which was helpful. Appreciate that. We talked about the driveway and the second curb cut, right, that you cannot have. Just out of curiosity, Judy, I don't know if you know the answer to this, but I was just thinking about this afternoon. If sometime in the future, if he did want to try to get a second curb cut, can he do that? I guess he would have to see the Department of Transportation, maybe?
The code does not allow
Does
to.
not allow, period.
So at this time, there is no recourse. He would probably try to put an application in, we would deny it,
Right.
and he would end up before the board, but the code does not allow it.
Gotcha.
There's,
I was just curious.
right up the street around the corner, there's a house that has 2 cuts. It's horseshoe driveway.
There may
He
be
has a
some,
horseshoe, right?
and some may predate zoning, but currently our code does not allow it, and some of them we just haven't gotten to yet.
And that could very well be the case as well. Okay.
I think we should note that, it sounds like your intent is to periodically drive over top that kind of
Yeah.
flat area, which is your leach field, which,
No, The
Okay.
leach field, that hump in front of the house, that's where my leach fields are.
Okay, yeah, because we were looking at, I think, I don't know what that.
Yeah, there's a
drawing
filed
was.
map that shows your fields close to where you would be driving over.
It might be worth confirming,
Well-
because you could have issues depending upon how often or the weight.
I mean, that would, the septic tank itself is about this far below the dirt that's at the top.
You see it's
So
raised there.
I can't really see them going, they're not gonna pipe that stuff downhill. You know, the leach
Yeah,
fields aren't
gravity, yeah,
gonna.
they do go
It's
downhill.
usually-
Well,
it's
I mean,
usually
it's
downhill from the
flat.
tank.
Gravity.
Yeah, but not that far. That's gotta be 3.5, 4 feet difference between the height of where that, my front yard is.
No,
if you were
understandable, but
standing
in
there.
the space they need, they had to do that.
I believe you have the tank, and then there's an outlet in the bottom. which
Well,
will
it comes
go-
out, yeah, there's, one
Yeah.
comes in one side at the top, and one
Yeah.
comes in the other side, and it goes out, but that's not at a, like, they don't put that at a super pitch, they put it at,
Yeah, I
a
mean-
quarter of an inch per foot or something.
So it's not our concern, but, it's something I think, you should be aware of.
You would-
Because
Oh, yeah.
there is a drawing
Oh,
that
of
shows
course,
it being
yeah,
there.
no.
And, you could
Yeah.
potentially have an issue with it.
Yeah, it's more of a heads up.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, but I don't know if it goes that far.
I'd be
I'll have to always check
surprised
that
if
out.
the leach field was out that far
Yeah.
myself, but, especially because.
You might want to look into it,
Yeah.
Oh,
because
yeah.
it could get expensive if you run into
Yeah, I
problems.
know.
Yeah, that would,
Yeah, no, I could definitely look into that. And you have a drawing of that?
I
Yeah,
think the old subdivision, right?
yeah, it's the
Okay.
filed
It's
map
showing
for
it.
for your division. I can give you a copy of that.
Please? Thank you.
right. Any other questions, you guys?
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, if we approve this as part of the text, I think we should note that it's only one driveway. In the case that you
Sure.
sell it, whoever's, taking over the property doesn't think. that
Assume
they
that- that they
assume
can-
that they can add one and get all disappointed,
Yeah.
or just add it without telling anybody,
Hmm.
as often happens.
That's fine.
Right, and outdoor parking, there would not be allowed, and, for you to just sit something over there in front of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody in the audience have any questions or concerns regarding? Please step up to the podium and state your name and address as well, please.
Okay. My name is Carol Robinson, and I live at 19 Beechwood Circle, right next door. Okay, so I received this notice last week, and I'm just here to get some clarification
Sure.
about the variance that is being requested and the site location of the area and how that area will impact specifically my property. The issue that I have and the concern that I have is that there are some severe drainage issues, grading issues, and water issues that lie in between the two properties. There was once a ditch that was in between the areas, my property and the property at 17 Beechwood Circle. Over the years, we cleared the land, and there wasn't that much overgrowth. Okay, now there is a lot.
Mhm.
Things grow, just at the drop of a hat, It just, things just sprout up all over the place, okay? But keeping that vegetation back, there's a lot of branches, trees, and debris in the back of the property. And for years, I had complained to the town supervisor for the highway, and I have them come out. I have like over 15 dates dating all the way back to 2017, in which I have taken pictures of the flooding that takes place in between the two properties, and eventually it just comes on my property. Down my driveway, I have a long driveway. That flooding is not only in the back, where all of the debris and the branches are, but it has extended when it floods all the way to the road now. Okay? So that's a major issue because the land on that side, and it's just a short piece or strip of land, it gets flooded and it's eroded. So that's my major concern. So I'm not really sure where the proposed site is for this and how they're going to have access in and out of there with all of that water that has to go somewhere. Years ago, Billy had, because we had children that were growing up around the same age, I had a basketball hoop that was in my driveway. And so it faced in the direction that their house was. And so the children would shoot the basketball, but we were fearful of them going into the ditch. So he put a tube and covered it up. So you really can't tell if you're looking from the street and looking at the properties, you can't really tell whose property is whose property. But I always knew exactly where my property ended, you know. So I just want you to be aware that there is an issue, and I do have a couple of pictures if you'd like to see them.
The location of
Yeah.
the structure he wants to put in, he has every right to put it there.
Yeah, I
Right? He doesn't
understand
need a
that.
variance for that.
Right, right.
The variance that he seeks is that he's making it a little bit larger than the code allows. And I just would state too that if he's a tenth of an acre short of not even being here tonight, he wouldn't even have to come and get the variance. So
Right.
he's pretty close to not even needing the variance. I mean, you know, I was at the house and these guys are at the house too, and the location of where the shed is really wouldn't have any impact on change that condition at all, exacerbate it or, you know, make it better,
Right.
make it worse.
So where does
Do
the
you want
water
to see
go?
the site plan?
Yeah, because I haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Yeah, sure.
and, you know, I'm just concerned about where will the water go.
So I'm assuming that this is your property here, correct? This is the street here?
Yes.
Towards the houses, so you're right here?
Right, right.
So the proposed garage is right here.
Okay,
This was the
so
wooded
it's
area?
further back.
There's kind of a flat area
Right.
in his property, and, you know, this is the wooded area. And I'm assuming that this kind of depression that the topo is showing is probably where you're getting the flooding.
And
Right,
that's
that
private
makes
property
sense.
between you and him, correct?
Well, that's my property,
Yeah.
where
so-
that, the lowest spot, her property slopes down like
Yes,
this.
okay.
to
Right.
mine.
Yeah, you have
So
kind of this
water
low
runs-
spot at the back of your property.
Right, in that
Yeah.
back corner, it's always
So-
been there.
But are you aware
When-
that it does flood?
Oh, when we get a lot of
When we-
rain, it floods.
And when
There
it
was a-
rains and it snows,
sewer in
it
there,
happens
by the
all
road,
time.
wasn't
There's a
there?
catch basin
The
there,
catch
yeah.
basin there?
And-
Yeah.
and
But it doesn't
it
flow
drains.
adequately. It doesn't drain out, because I've had the town supervisor come out. They do come out and they check.
So Judy,
Can you speak from
whose
the podium?
responsibility would that be?
Just so we can hear you.
Okay.
I looked, and there does not appear to be any town-owned drainage on properties. I'm hearing for the first time about a pipe. I don't have anything that the town installed or the
No,
town
the
put
town
in.
didn't install it.
Correct, so
Billy
therefore,
installed it, right?
Yes.
correct, so
would
therefore,
be
this
their
is water pooling due to the topography of the land, and that would be, if you had a problem, you would have to come hire an engineer to see what you could do to
It's not
resolve it.
on my property.
I understand that. I'm just saying, if you had a problem, if Billy has a problem with what he's doing, he would have to hire an engineer. There's nothing in the town that would be responsible for that water.
On your property, you're not getting any water, are you?
That back corner.
That
that's
back
water.
corner.
That's.
Okay,
that's
so the
part of my
problem is that once it rains or it snows, it's backing up. Not only that, it looks like a pool back there, and then it filters all the way to the road, to the street on my property.
Okay.
I don't know if it does that on your side as well.
Well,
Does it-
according to the property line, it's mostly, I mean, a little bit encroaches on her property, hit like 3/4 of the way down the property line, but that's in torrential downpours.
Yeah.
When it rains, if you went over there and that drainage pipe that's in there, it's a big French drain, it's running almost full bore.
Yeah, but
Pipe
it-
is running, I mean, it can only drain as fast as
Got
Mother
it.
Nature lets it.
Yeah, but the issue is, there's so much debris back there. What do you expect it to do? If you have all of those branches and trees and leaves back there, It has to go somewhere, and my property is sitting lower. And over the years, it's just eroded.
Your
You have
property slopes,
erosion.
your property slopes up to your house. Now, from like where that, we'll call it drainage swale is, right? Your property then rises up, right? And his rises slightly up, you know, coming back the other way. So the swale is a low spot, as it should be, you know, is a low spot. But all that said, right, the issue tonight, right,
Right.
is the size that he wants to put his garage, right? The drainage
Now,
impacts.
I just wanted to know, like, where, I see now,
Yeah,
it's further back,
right.
but I had no idea, like,
Sure.
where the
And if-
proposed
If
site
you drive
was.
and pass by there
Yeah, he
tonight,
has it marked out.
he's got 4 stakes in the ground.
I've
you
never
can
seen
see
it, that's why I'm here.
Come on
It's-
over. We'll let you walk over.
Yeah, he's got 4 stakes in the ground where the shed's going to be.
I'm sure you can see it from the
All right.
driveway.
It's quite a distance from your property.
So one of the elements
So-
I was thinking that we should condition would be to retain the screening between the two properties, because I think that is beneficial to hide the view of the shed from your property. But it sounds
Right.
like you would prefer there to be fewer plantings
yeah.
between the properties, is that?
Well, my concern is the water,
Yeah.
the buildup of the water. Where's the water gonna go? I mean, I don't know if the town has an easement to have access to for drainage purposes. I'm not
Not
really
there.
sure. That's what my main concern is.
Right, not there. There's no easement
The
there.
town has no easement, so the town would not go back there, that is private property. So it would
Right.
be incumbent on to the property owner to resolve any issues. That water is not anything the town would actually deal with. And where the garage is going isn't going to change the slope that would still cause that water to drain.
Okay.
So if there's debris and brush, you guys, as good neighbors, can work that out to maybe clear that up, if you're concerned about that, but
Yeah,
the
well,
town would not get involved in
Yeah,
that.
the debris that's back there is on his property.
So then that would be a conversation for you to have as good neighbors, how you could resolve that. The town has no reason to go
You
back
had
there.
mentioned today you're gonna be cleaning some of that stuff anyway.
I mean, I spoke with her, I plan on cleaning up and doing as much as I can, planting some, other trees that, like, weeping willows, they love water.
Right.
So any water that's back there, weeping willow just wants to suck
Soak
it
it
up.
up, yeah.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
that's my intention,
Okay.
clean up that, yeah, you can see there's a bunch of trees up, but
Yeah.
I pushed them there to clear the area so we can see everything. I have every intention of, cleaning that whole area up.
You have a trailer and get a dump pass.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
my truck is broken down now.
Right.
So I don't have my truck, I moved the trailer, so I'm kind
But
of.
again, tonight, we were talking about the
Yeah.
square footage of the footprint.
Right,
And the
yeah.
location of that.
And the location,
won't
well,
im-
the location was important to me.
Sure.
Because I also have a shed on
Sure.
that side.
Sure, but it
okay.
won't impact the drainage
Right,
at all.
right.
Yeah, there's no intent to change the grading on that side of the garage, right?
No,
Yeah, it's not like you're gonna dig out, you're not doing a foundation or, a cellar or something, you're
no,
not.
no,
You're
no,
not
nothing, so.
piling anything there that would raise that portion to the point where you would be pushing
Not-
water
not
into her
that
property.
drastic, No.
So when you have issues of grading, then what do you propose as the solution to all of that?
Hire an engineer.
I mean, usually you wanna try to keep the water on your own property and not be shedding additional
manage it.
water onto your neighbors.
Right.
Which is
Right,
kind of
but that's
doing
not
that.
happening, it's
Yeah.
coming on my side.
So,
It's not my
I'm
water.
not sure what the solutions to get that water out.
So if you
Dry
came,
well,
if you
I don't
came
know.
to the town to have a concern about water, and I could not find an easement or a drainage easement or anything that the
Right.
town would go into, I would suggest that you do hire an engineer to see what your options are, because basically water runs downhill and it will go to the lowest point. So if somebody was in with a backhoe digging, the town would stop that and make them get a grading permit. But in what Mr. Zerillo is going to be doing, that's not the case. And therefore, there's nothing for us to step in on as long as the ZBA, believes in whether they're going to approve it or deny it with the information they have. But in this case, it has nothing to do with the drainage.
Do you have any water issues in the back of your, like all the way over?
When it rains, when we have the tremendous amount of rain, yeah, sometimes it's the whole back of my properties from Mercedes dealers 5 or 6 feet of water, but then,
Because they're above
Disappears.
us and they
Goes
bring
back.
it to us.
Just a question, and it has nothing to do with anything, really. Did you have that problem before the Mercedes dealership was put in?
No,
No, because they went back further. Yeah, that's a whole nother.
Yeah, okay.
It sounds like maybe that would be the issue. That's a lot of paving
Oh, yes.
and
Right.
water that's not being
Right.
absorbed into the ground.
I don't know, I know their water goes off to the other side, in between them and Adams somewhere, and
That's what I said. I was thinking, I would observe where their water
Oh, I
goes.
know exactly where it's going.
And that might be a discussion for another night.
Right.
There are
right,
two other businesses back there, Aroma's back there.
right,
and
right.
just
So I'm
not
going to
needed.
encourage you to come in and speak to the zoning department to help you, as it is a separate issue from what we're talking about here.
Right,
All
because
the-
it looks like a lake.
So we
I
can,
can show you pictures.
right, so I can address
Like
that
I have
with
my
you.
own little private lake on the side of my driveway.
All right, well, thank you, for bringing your concerns to us. And again,
Yeah, and I,
would
and I
encourage you to come
understood,
talk
you know,
to
with
Judy.
I just wanted to get the clarification
Sure.
of where it was actually going
Sure,
to be.
absolutely.
Right,
Sure, you'll physically be able to see that as well.
okay,
He's
all
got
right.
four stakes in the ground with orange flags on them. You'll see it. It's
All right.
clear.
I'm just going to give you my card so you can reach out.
Anybody else in the audience have any questions, comments, concerns? All right, can I have a motion, please, to close the public hearing?
Motion,
Close the public hearing?
Have a second?
second.
We got a second? All right, all in
Second.
favor? So moved. Can I have a motion then, please, to grant or deny the applicant the variance? I'll make a motion to grant the applicant the variance. I don't believe his benefit can be achieved by any other feasible means. It will not create any undesirable changes in character to the neighborhood. The request is marginally substantial, but again, not enough for me to deny the variance. The request will not have any physical adverse effects on the environment, and it is self-created. I also would note that, the property size is a tenth of an acre shy of not even needing the variance. So that the property almost makes it, without even needing the variance. So all that said, I vote yes to grant the variance.
I'll second that.
I have a second. Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Lorenzini,
Yes.
Mr. Barr,
Yes.
Mr. DiNardo,
Yes.
Mr. Galati.
Yes. Okay, your variance is granted.
Thank
You're
you.
free to go.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You're all set.
You got it.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Your property 6. Okay,
Have a nice day.
you too.
You too.
We'll chat later. Okay, we'll give you a call.
All right, next up, Mr. Naweed?
Yes.
Okay. All right, wasn't sure if you were here. All right, next up on the agenda, again, is appeal number 247822, area variance. Mr. Naweed seeking an area variance, section 37 of district regulations in an R40 zoning district, where 50 feet to the front yard property line is required. The applicant can provide 48 feet for the construction of a 10-foot by 6-foot portico over new 10-foot by 5-foot front steps, thus requesting a variance of 2 feet. The property is located at 21 Lenny Court on .26 acres and is identified as tax grid number 625701385552 in the town of Wappinger. Can I have a motion, please, to open the public hearing?
Make a motion.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
All right, so moved. Okay, Mr. Naweed, for the audience, not left on the board or anybody might be listening, what you need and why you need it.
Okay, as I told you earlier, it's basically a protection for the front door and good outlook of the property. That's it.
All right, the guys were there on Saturday. I snuck in there early this morning and got a look.
What's the height? Is it going to be basically matching the height of the building?
It's matching the height of the building.
Okay. It's basically going to be then a peak that kind of goes into it? Is that
Yeah,
that?
it's a peak going into it, and then it will split like half.
And the 2 foot variance is to the step? It's
Yeah.
correct, right?
Yeah.
I think it's to both, right? The steps and the portico, they're both.
Say it again?
It's a 10'6" portico and a 10'6" step, right? So
Yeah.
they're at the
Yeah.
same.
They're at the same.
Plane.
Yeah.
Right, the same plane.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah, I mean, pretty straightforward from what I saw there. I mean, you got some nice work cut out for you, it seems like. I didn't have any other questions, you guys. Like I said, pretty straightforward to me.
Well, cut and dry.
Yeah. Be good.
May as well.
I would ask the audience if there's any questions, and I think, gentlemen, I don't think he has any questions.
Motion to close?
Can I have a motion then to close the public
Motion
hearing?
to close?
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Could I have then a motion to grant or deny the applicant the variance?
Make a motion to grant the variance. The required variance will not produce an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood. It's not a substantial detriment will be created to nearby properties. There's really not another feasible method available for you to pursue to achieve the benefit you seek other than requested variance. The requested variance is not substantial. The proposed variance will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district. Whereas the alleged difficulty is self-created, it's not enough to not grant, so I move to grant the variance.
Have a second.
Second.
Have a second. Roll call.
Mr. Lorenzini?
Yes.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. DiNardo?
Yes.
Mr. Galati?
Yes. All right, your variance has been granted.
Thank you.
You're all set.
Welcome.
You're welcome.
Everyone.
Good luck.
All right
Have a
then.
great night.
You too.
You too.
No further business. Could I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. We are adjourned.